Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be going over the team that has gotten us to 3316. Yeah, I know it's been a while since we made a video, but I had some internet issues. I actually had off work this last week, but was not able to stream because I basically didn't have internet. But we're back at it. We're going to make some videos, and we're going to make some climbs on the leaderboard here. We should be in the top 10. As I'm editing this video right now, leaderboards won't be updated for another, let's see, 17 hours. So tough to know where I'll end up on there, and we'll see if I actually make the thumbnail afterwards, because I don't think I'll be able to get this out before work tomorrow, so this might come out late in the afternoon. Anyways, yeah, if you haven't, definitely hit that sub button, and let's go ahead and get into the team. The team is actually going to be Medicham in the lead with Alolan, Ninetales, Charm, and Shadow Victrebell in the back. So this team I did not make, and I asked the creator of the team if he would like his name given, and he did. So it is Onion Frank. We played him actually in the Gorlock video, if you went back and checked that, and he used this team against us, and I messaged him saying I think Shadow Vic is, or something along the line of like, Shadow Vic seems like it's really good right now. And then he was telling me he was having great success with it. I didn't have a Shadow Vic. I did have a Shadow Weepinbell that already had its frustration off, so I just made that one, so my IVs are absolutely terrible. And my Medicham is a 15-15-15 best buddy. So yeah, not an XL Medicham either. But if you have those, you should definitely use the better IVs if you have them. I do currently have a rank 1 Medicham from this event, but I don't have the candy to make that, or actually, or the dust. So let's go ahead and get into some of the gameplay. There's going to be 3 sets. Obviously, these sets are taken from several days each. They're not all from one day, because I haven't posted a video in probably 3 days. So they're... Vergyverg from the future actually wanted to say one more thing before we get into the battles. I've started the battles right as the battle starts instead of with the name of the opponents. This is to protect the opponents on page 1 from people not knowing exactly whose teams are whose, and then like writing it down or things like that. So I noticed a lot of streamers doing it, so I've tried to do it here in the YouTube video, and it just seems to have worked. So let's get into the games. Second edit, if they are streamers, I left that in. So, okay, so I've also sped the battles up really fast so that we can, a lot of this cup is like fast move oriented, so there's not a lot to say during those points. But against the Altaria matchup, you can actually get 2 ice punches off before they get off 2 sky attacks. So it takes you 6 seconds to get to each ice punch. It takes them 7.5 seconds to get to each of these sky attacks. So you can get to 2, and you could charge up 1 or 2 more counters through this, and then swap to Alolan Ninetales, or you can just swap to Alolan Ninetales right away. They do end up double shielding, so that's good for us. They come in with Diggersby. Fire Punch is super effective, but it doesn't have stab, and yeah, see, it's not going to do too much. I think we actually are going to survive 2. Diggersby is super bulky, though. It is one of the bulkiest mon, I think, in Great League. If you have it all the way XL'd out. I know I don't have enough for that, but I know some people do. And then I try to counter down, and he does know I'm going to do that, so he goes for the 3rd Fire Punch. We're going to get some extra farm here on Medicham, so the fact that they've already double shielded the Altaria must mean their whole team is pretty weak against Medicham here. I go for this Ice Punch. I do somehow beat them to the sky attack. I may actually let Medicham go unless I really think I can counter it down. And I guess I can. And like I said, their team does seem pretty weak against Medicham. And they do come in with Licky Tongue, sorry. I'm so used to us using Licky. Okay, Lickitung XL. Okay, they've got 2 XLs and an Altaria. And they're just, even 1 Body Slam here is not going to KO, so we're going to be able to just power through this Lickitung here. So yeah, one thing I've noticed, and you all have probably noticed too, about this cup, it's all XL Mon or huge fast attack Mon like Charmers and Bastiodon, or also fast charge move Mon like Politoed or any of the Weather Ballers. So okay, we won the lead against Scrafty. Luckily, all 3 of our Pokemon beat Scrafty, so I decide this is probably the best matchup for me right now. If I just throw a Psychic at it, and then maybe I can go in with Alolan Ninetales and try to finish it out. And they probably don't get to another move, and if they do, it's probably going to be that Avalanche because it is faster to get to. They actually show a freaking Shadow Beedrill. I know a lot of people in in comments before were saying Shadow Beedrill and Scrafty are pretty good together. In this cup, definitely they are. I don't know about outside of this cup, but Shadow Beedrill actually beats my entire team, if you've noticed here. So now I have to decide whether or not I'm going to take these charge attacks on Victrebell or on Medicham. And I decide, you know what, the Shadow version is going to do a lot of damage to this Beedrill, so I'm just going to try to get through this Beedrill as fast as possible. And then we ended up switching at the same time. They switched back into Scrafty. I know they can only get really one foul play off here, which is going to do about 40%. And they do shield. Obviously, there are no shields left. So this is not going to take us out. Even though our Medicham's not XL'd out, they do go for a pup, which was strange. And their Beedrill's super low, so we can just counter it down at this point. Hopefully, because if they get to an X-Scissor, it probably will kill us. So like I said, if they were a streamer, I'll show their name because they change their teams all the time anyways. And I thought this was really innovative of Tho Technical using the Nidoqueen, so I just wanted to give him props for that. They do switch out. I do switch out into my counter. You can take one return here on Alolan Ninetales, but actually this Scrafty is like way XL'd out. This might be rank 1 because I've faced Scrafty in this cup like 10 to 15 times with Alolan Ninetales, and I've never double KO'd. I've always ended up KOing them and surviving with like 1 HP or 5 HP, something like that. So they do come in with Jellicent. Not great for us. Obviously, Victrebell would have been nice here. We do CMP tied to this next move. And once they throw energy, I'm definitely coming with that Victrebell. We don't care too much about the Medicham anymore because Victrebell is going to be doing neutral damage to Nidoqueen. Plus, we have 2 shields. It takes Nidoqueen a pretty decent amount. I think it takes 7 poison jabs to get to an Earth Power, if I remember my Ferocious Cup well enough. Which I think, I remember I loved Nidoqueen for Ferocious Cup. I thought she was actually the core breaker of Umbreon and Alolan Ninetales. Alright, and then we Acid Spray, and then it's a Watermon. So, like 2 hits here. Boom, boom. GG. Really interesting Nidoqueen. I remember on Twitter I asked if anyone knew any Nidoking comps, because I actually think Fury Cutter's insane with Nidoking's other charge moveset with Earthquake. I think it has Earth Power as well. I'd have to double check on that one. All right, we come in Victrebell against this Jellicent, and they just kind of let it go. And they come in with Abomasnow again, and we're just going to Acid Spray this, because we're on our way out anyways. Might as well make this a little weaker. And actually doing pretty decent damage, but they're obviously going to KO us here. I probably, if I think this is not Weather Ball, I could shield. But maybe we just save the shield for Alolan Ninetales anyways, and it actually is a Sableye anyways. So yeah, 1 shield, and you're good against Sableye. So one thing I have noticed up here is a lot less Bastiodon. I don't remember the last time I even saw a Steel type, to be quite honest. And it's because of all the Defense Deoxys that's around. They really don't want to get farmed down by a Defense Deoxys who has all of these different types of charge moves that can really put pressure on you. All right, we come into a DD matchup. I play this out quite different every time, it seems like. I base it around what they do. If they go up to Thunder Punch, a Thunderbolt, I've actually started to shield the first one, but I've also noticed so many are running Rock Slide now, and shielding a Rock Slide is so bad for me. They actually end up switching out of that matchup, which gives us a great opportunity to get this farm down. And this is usually what happens in a Sableye matchup. They'll go return, you'll live with like a few HP, they get 1 more Shadow Claw, and you live with like I said, 1 to 5% HP. And then you can get a move off onto the next thing. So, all right, DD, I'm probably just coming in with Medicham and trying to Ice Punch. And hopefully they shield here. And if they shield, they're going to throw a Psycho Boost. Oh, they didn't shield. Okay, this is great for us. Oh, and it's a Watermon in the back when we have 2 shields. Yeah, GG. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, Victrebell seems really well placed in this meta because everyone is running at least 1 Charmer, it seems like. And some are running 2 Charmers. Actually, you'll see that near the end of this video. The higher I get, the more double Charm teams I start seeing, which is crazy. It just shows that when you ban out like 6 things that are good against Charm, Charm's going to start to become more prevalent. So, yeah. What else was I going to say? And then it's really good against the Watermon. I've seen a lot of Whiscash. Obviously, Jellicent is huge right now as well because it counters the counters the fighting types, which actually carry counter as well. So really, Medicham is that one of the... Well, Medicham's like the only fighting type that you see a lot of. Sometimes you'll see a Scrafty, sometimes you'll see a Toxicroak, but usually it's like a Vigoroth or a Defense Deoxys, and usually it's that Defense Deoxys, which is obviously huge in this meta because it has so much bulk. So that's what I also said earlier in the video. This meta is just bulk, hard-hitting fast moves, or fast-charging charge moves. That's everything here. All right, for the battle, she's a streamer on Twitch and also has a YouTube channel, using another unique mon, Quillfish. So I really didn't want to get Alolan Ninetales stuck in a match with this, but I didn't know this matchup very well, and it did seem like we were getting chunked, so I decided to bait, and then she ends up swapping exactly when we went for the bait, which actually ends up being perfect here because that means that she's not going to be able to get to return. So this is a foul play, which is resisted. And then she's got a ton of energy on this Quillfish. She's probably just going to go for, I believe Quillfish has Aqua Tail, Sludge Bomb, Acid Spray, and Ice Beam. I've seen a lot of Quillfish. Was it Timeless Cup? I forget the cup, but I remember I versed Hoshi with it in a mirror. I think it was Mirror Timeless Cup, and he destroyed me with it. Probably got to be wary of the Sludge Bomb here, and it actually ended up being Ice Beam, so definitely something to be wary of. Okay, we have the switch timer on our side. All I need to do is get to this Acid Spray, and then really let Medicham do some work on this. So actually, Medicham versus Mandibuzz isn't the worst matchup in the world. It does seem like it is quite bad, but you're doing neutral damage to it. It's doing neutral damage to you, and then Aerial Ace is super effective, but... It's not a very good move, so it does take 3 Aerial Ace, and I'm sure if you were XL'd, it would take 4. And like I said, I'm working on an XL, but there's no way I'll have it done for, like... I think the Rivals event actually finished already, so not going to be able to get that anytime soon. And I've already traded all of mine off with some buddies. Alright, they end up switching into this Medicham. We switch into our counter. I'm pretty sure we survive a Psychic, so I'm not shielding anything. And usually this is what a lot of matches come down to. Not shielding the Charmer and then double shielding Shadow Vic in the back. At least that's what I've seen. Sometimes you got to get... There really is actually a lot more play than it seems. Sometimes you can double shield the Charmer. Sometimes you end up double shielding Medicham, and then the team becomes just a Medicham... like energy bot, so you're just using the switches to give Medicham energy advantages through its good matchups so that it can overcome its neutral to bad matchups in the lead, such as DD or Mandibuzz or Altaria. Like if you had a few more counters against Altaria, you get to those Ice Beams and you can really pressure those shields, and then over the course of the match you can end up taking a lot of those bad leads for yourself there. They come in with Sableye. Obviously, we have 2 shields, so we're going to start shielding here, and then we can get an Acid Spray going on that last matchup, and then really give Medicham... I mean, we still have a shield anyways, and we wouldn't shield anything on this Victrebell. Actually, Victrebell may be able to just finish this off if they don't throw a move, so it's GG no matter what here. Alright, getting into this next game, it is against a Mandibuzz, so like I said, this is not the worst matchup. You win the 1 shield, but if they try to... Oh, they actually have Air Slash on here. I don't know how this goes, but I imagine it's similar. Maybe it only takes 2 Aerial Aces from this type of Mandibuzz here. So I still like to do the same thing I do to the Altarias, go for 2, and then switch out and try to do a little bit of damage slash energy gain onto the Alolan Ninetales, but really it's all about just getting out of this matchup and allowing Medicham to farm the back matchup if needed. Unfortunately, this is not a matchup that Medicham can farm, but Alolan Ninetales actually does decent in this matchup. The only thing you really have to worry about is the Rock Slide. Thunderbolt is not going to KO. Is this the Rock Slide? This felt pretty fast. They do have the Rock Slide, so they are going to probably try to farm us down, and they're definitely going to be able to. But I'm probably coming in with Medicham. This is a pretty good amount of energy to get, and the worst thing that can happen to us is a double Psycho Boost. But the odds are they don't have that much energy. They did like 4 or 5, so they're not going to get to another one here. And even though we're low, we are going to be able to go for this Ice Punch. I'm 1 away, I think. Probably worth the shield here. I bet they're out of energy. So if they're out of energy, we throw this, we take it out, or they shield, and no matter what, we have to switch into Victrebell instantly here. 1 shield advantage. We don't have to really shield here. The question is, are they going to get 2 body slams off? 1's not going to be enough, and we do resist the counters. We still have a Medicham in the back. Oh my god. We do super effective counter damage. We resist counter because of our psychic typing. And yeah, that's GG with 1 HP in a dream. Imagine if we actually had a better Medicham. Oh my god, I remember this game. I remember not really knowing what to do here. I didn't want to get Sledge Bombed, but it's also like Toxicroak's actually really good against our backline. And then obviously Medicham wins this matchup, but then I take the Sledge Bomb to the face. And then I beta move. I think we actually do get the shield here, but I had no idea how to play this out, and I think I probably should have just gone straight Psychic, because now they're definitely going to shield, and we have 2 Ice Punches, but we saw that counter come through. Am I going to be able to survive that counter? I don't know, so I decided to switch just to get out of it. Oh, and then I was like, I miscounted completely and thought this was just a Mud Bomb. Ended up being the Sledge Bomb. Obviously not great. Gonna have to come in with Victrebell now with no switch timer. They have their switch timer, and they do have Altaria, and we're never gonna see that 3rd Mon because I did not play that well. Alright, Bastiodon lead. Obviously you love to see this. Now, the interesting thing is this matchup is pretty decent for Medicham as well, so what I want to do is probably rough it up a little bit, come in with Alolan Ninetales so that Alolan Ninetales doesn't get stuck with the Bastiodon, and let this hit you. It's going to get 2 body slams off, and I think you'll survive both. Yep. And you want to be as low as possible for the Bastiodon anyway, so this is absolutely perfect. Bastiodon, you can't do anything against Bastiodon with Ninetales, and that's just the way it is. And that's going to be fine. We have Medicham. But we do have to remember we did switch slower than them, so them waiting this timer out is actually helping us out a ton. And we're going to want to wait the timer out as well. Although our timer is almost up, so it doesn't really matter how long I wait here. But going to wait the full time. Going to hope that the thing in the back is weak to Victrebell. It is. It takes 6 counters to get to an Ice Punch. So if they get to 12, that's 2 Ice Punches. And we have 2 shields. So we just shield this matchup no matter what. When we come into the Bastiodon matchup, we Acid Spray, and that's GG. They don't have anywhere near enough damage to pressure our Medicham. Even though they are going to farm this all the way down. It is going to take a lot of damage in the process. Because we are Shadow Victrebell, as it were. And I think this matchup actually gets a little closer than it... Oh, no, they decided not to throw. But yeah, it was GG there. They ended up with 2 shields. I don't know if they're saving that for next season or... They really didn't have a chance to use those shields. We just hard countered them across all the way. Galvantula, this is definitely one that I want for Ultra League. And when I say I want, I'm not even trying to get them, so... Maybe one day I'll have a XL Galvantula for Ultra League. I don't have a hundo, so I'm not really in a rush. But I actually think Galvantula is one of the best Mon in Ultra League, bar none. So if you want my opinion on that. Diggersby, this is obviously, we have all 3 Mon good against this. So if this matchup's not good, I can just stay with the Medicham if I needed to. Or if the matchup was better for Medicham with considering the rest of my team, I could just stay in with it. But it ends up being an Altaria, which we can farm down with the Alolan Ninetales, and then we have those Weather Balls, which are super effective against Diggersby also. But we saw that 2 does not even KO. I am almost a 2 right here, and we're very close to being in that Fire Punch range. I think we are in it, and if we're not, we're definitely in farm down range after the Fire Punch. But Diggersby is also not going to be one of the Pokemon that's going to be able to pressure Medicham. It's just super bulky, so it doesn't do too much damage, even though it has Stab on Earthquake. So I probably won't end up shielding Medicham at all in that matchup. And they do end up having a Wigglytuff in the back, and then we have Victrebell, and that's GG. I will say, if you're going to use a Charmer, I think Alolan Ninetales is the best Charmer just because it actually can get to moves relatively quickly. As you've seen in a few matchups already at this point, we've gotten to 2 Weather Balls in a few of those matchups. So for a Charmer to get to 2 moves, that's pretty crazy. Probably something needs to be looked at there. I don't think that's great gameplay. They do end up throwing a move here. I guess they thought we were about to get to our move. But they did allow themselves to get super low. Our Medicham can't actually farm too much down. I actually switched before the timer's up because I do want all that extra energy so that I can start pressuring this Sableye with my Medicham and allow for maybe some late game moves. And I end up catching a foul play, not what I intended. I just wanted to get out of there as soon as possible, but that helps. And against a Mantine in the back. Interesting. Oh, I remember who this was. You might see a video in the next few days about this team because they are very high on the leaderboard. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, very interesting team here. Mantine obviously taking still neutral damage from these Weather Ball Ices. At this point, I've already pretty much given up on Alolan Ninetales here, so I don't care if they just Bubble Beam us all the way down. I'm not going to do anything about that. I already know I can get to all these moves, and each of them is going to pressure, even though we're already 2 times debuffed at this point. And I want to go for a farm down here. I'm still not going to shield anything. This is 100% a Bubble Beam. They've already thrown 2 or 3, so they don't have the energy to throw like an Ice Beam. And then I need to get to 2 Ice Punches here because they're going to try to go for a farm down because we have 2 shields. There's no reason for them to actually throw moves. They'll never get to the moves faster than we do. And yeah, that's going to be a GG here. Definitely going to be able to counter down the Mantine, and that'll be it. Man, I feel like I'm a rapper. I feel like I'm saying these things too fast. I'm not used to the sped up battles here. Okay, all 3 of our mon are decent against this. Obviously, Victrebell is where we want this to be the most. And then I have to make a call here, and I almost never see anyone do this. This person played this very well. I never see anyone go Earthquake on Politoed there. So I end up getting this Psychic off. I'm pretty sure I survive a Weather Ball from this range, so I'm just going to go for a farm down, probably not shield, and hope that the Victrebell or Alolan Ninetales has good matchups in the back. Probably just throwing this Ice Punch no matter what. It is a Drifblim. And then I have to let this go out because Victrebell obviously doesn't have a good matchup against Drifblim. And Ninetales at least has a neutral matchup. It is a Bastiodon in the back, which is freaking bad. I probably have to go for Acid Spray here because they have 2 shields. So I need to be able to get through this as fast as possible. And if I can't get through on Victrebell, I need to make sure that Alolan Ninetales has some sort of chance. And that chance will be that the fast damage does actually enough to get through this Bastiodon. Because I did not know, but apparently when it's Acid Sprayed, Victrebell wins that matchup. And we actually get super low here, so not a lot of farm extra for the Drifblim. And I think we're going for a farm down because we'll never make it to 2 moves, especially not before they make it to 2 moves. I'm 100% sure there's an Icy Wind, but just in case it isn't, I don't think they're getting to 2 moves. Let's just shield the first one. And if they're getting to 2 moves, it'll only be 2 Icy Winds. So a lot of the teams up here you've seen have been these like very similar to each other teams. Gliscor. And I remember the other Pokemon in this third here, because Gliscor is so unique, you definitely will remember the team. And there's another Pokemon coming up that's also so unique. I actually played this person 3 or 4 times, and I think I win this one, and I don't think I ever won again. It's like once they saw the first game, actually I don't even think I win this one because it doesn't make a lot of sense that I can win this because I do remember what is there in the back line. Okay, I have 2 Ice Punches built here, so obviously I'm going to try to use that as my energy advantage here, and then I also want to try to catch a Night Slash, I think, or do I switch instantly? I forget. So this is one of those games where I go for a double shield Medicham and hope for the best. They end up having freaking Sunny Cast form in the back. This person is a mad lad. I wish I could tell you their name, but obviously with a team this unique, you definitely don't want to give away anything against their other opponents. But holy moly. And we're going to try to go for... We have to take 1. And we really have to hope that they don't have a Night Slash because this person has a billion energy. And I just want to get to this Ice Punch because I think an Ice Punch at this range will KO. I guess I did not win this one. So I don't think I've ever beaten this player then. And I think we've played each other 3 or 4 times. I thought I had beaten them. Oh, 1 away. But that's how you got to play it. You got to play it to get more and more energy onto Medicham and then try to beat that first front matchup. But I actually think that Medicham wins that in all shield scenarios. So I didn't know that at the time, and I think I looked that up later. Okay, Mandibuzz, y'all saw this earlier. We just want to stand for 2 Ice Punches, then we'll switch out to Alolan Ninetales to force their switch, and then at some point gain that energy back. Okay, it did something a little different here. They do come in with Vigoroth. Vigoroth definitely wins this matchup as long as they shield once. We never make it to a second move unless they let us by not throwing, but for I don't know why they would ever do that. And then they'll be able to farm us down and get the... actually, I think he can go for another Body Slam here. Oh my god, 1 HP. Okay, but they only have 1 Body Slam, I'm pretty sure, so... We'll just take that Body Slam on Medicham. I probably don't end up shielding this because I still have to... I mean, Mandibuzz does more damage with Aerial Ace, so we'll just save our shields for that. And luckily Snarl doesn't do too much damage, so they probably end up shielding this. Oh my god. Okay, they switched to Toxicroak. Oh wait, did we play this person earlier in this video? So you play a lot of the same people over and over and over. So you can probably 2-shield this, go for an Acid Spray, and give the edge to Medicham to finish off. Or even Victrebell at this point will be able to finish off because I think the Mandibuzz is pretty out of energy. Probably not enough to get to another move here. And you'll pressure the shield for sure because it's so low HP as well. Plus, there's probably no more charge moves left in this game on either side. Except for this one Mandibuzz one, because our Medicham is also super low. But he obviously doesn't have 2 charge moves, so GG. Alright, I think that was the last game in the second set there. I'm sure y'all have noticed the trend already. There's so many freaking Charmers out there, and that's why Victrebell is so good. The only things you have to be wary of is what I've seen at the top here, actually a pretty decent amount of Mandibuzz and Jellicent and Driftblim and Altaria. There's actually a pretty decent amount of... Probably Altaria and Mandibuzz are the more seen ones, but yeah. And then so this last set, I don't know why, but I seem to have lost one of the games. Maybe I just recorded wrong or who knows, but this is my set to get to 3,300. This person went Deoxys, and I've never seen anyone just go straight Psycho Boost. And you know it's straight Psycho Boost because it only takes 5 to get to Psycho Boost. And it takes 7, I believe, or 8 to get to... I think it takes 7 to get to Rock Slide. And then it takes like 9 or 10 to get to Thunderbolt, something like that. So we ended up doing that. Maybe I could have just gone for a actually a Leaf Blade there. But I don't know. They're definitely going to Psycho Boost and dip again. At this point, I'm pretty sure they're just running Charms. So I decided to come in with this and go for a farm down on that. And then I'm probably not throwing a move here because we need to do as much damage as possible. I'm probably going to shield this as well. And then we can have 2 moves going into the Deoxys, which really doesn't have a lot of energy left. And we can pressure both of these shields, and then all we'll need is an Ice Punch. We're obviously at 1 HP, though. So if we ever see a counter come through... I can still switch my windows up and save that move, because if a counter comes through, it means when you finish your charge move, you're going to take that damage right after and not be able to throw another charge move. But you can transfer that damage over to the other Pokemon you have if your switch window is up. And then we obviously had the Ice Punch, and then that's GG. So, interesting play by our opponent. Yeah, I've never seen the Deoxys just go straight Psycho Boost into... But I guess they just have double safe swaps of... And you have to shield this Jellicent here, by the way. Whenever there's a Jellicent, they almost always throw Shadow Ball at the Ninetales there, and that's in order to get a... If they land it, they get such an energy advantage against the Mon coming in. And then I get super greedy here, and that's a mistake. And then I try to click Victrebell here, and I think that I clicked it, and then it brought in Medicham, and then this is just like absolutely horrific. I decide since I'm in here, I might as well throw this Psychic, but now they have an energy advantage, and if they have a lot of energy onto the Jellicent, then I'm just so screwed because it gets to energy so fast on Alolan Ninetales. But I get a little lucky here. They don't end up getting to 2 weather balls. I end up taking it out, and then it's just the Jellicent here in the back, and I definitely want to land the Acid Spray or just farm down. And yeah, GG. Another double charm team, and seems like the higher I get, the more DD I see, the more charm I see. And that's just the way it is right now. Like we banned the things that were banned just allowed charm to come through, and now everything is just charm. So that's why Victrebell is so good, though, because it resists charm and it does a boatload of damage back to them. So hit them with their own medicine and don't let them get away with it for free. That's my basic thought process there. So I ended up shielding this move. And I believe this is a Rock Slide, like I was saying earlier in the video. A lot more people in the higher ups seem to be running Rock Slide. And I'm pretty sure that's in a response to Altaria, pretty much. Because Thunderbolt's pretty good against... Second Psycho Boost doesn't do as much, so just take it. And they do end up staying in with DD, but this is pretty much going to KO. If it doesn't, you're going to be able to counter down because they're already quad reduced damage, so they're doing nothing to you. They do come in with Sableye. I decide I'm just going to let this Medicham go and then come in with Alolan Ninetales. They do end up shielding that, but all we have to do is shield once on Alolan Ninetales, and we will do that because we don't know what they have in the back. It could be a Medicham, could be something weak to Charm as well. Yeah, so we stay safe here, and no matter what this is, we are going to fast attack it, and it is an Altaria. So this person's running Rock Slide because they know Altaria is in the meta, and they know it's in the meta because they're using it. And then even a Sky Attack's not going to KO us here, so we'll be able to get to this Weather Ball. And if we wanted to, we could just farm all the way down, but, you know, might as well just end the suffering as quickly as possible. Not show them our third Mon, so hopefully later on, if we ever play them again, yeah, if we ever play them again, at least we'll know that. But the thing is, I almost never remember people's teams. I'm really bad at that. Okay, Haunter lead. I've seen Haunter leads. I've seen Gengar leads up here. It's crazy. They're actually good because they resist Charm, and they're good against Fighters and DD. I understand the Haunter pick, but the thing is, they're so squishy, so even though it's resisting these Leaf Blades, or, they're a Razor Leaf, they're still taking so much freaking damage. And then they come in with a Scrafty, so now I know they're triple weak to this, but it doesn't really matter too much. We're definitely going to come in with Ninetales. Ninetales resists everything Scrafty can do, so try to eat that energy. They do come in with their own Ninetales, so I decide I'm just going to stay in and full fast attack it down. I will shield this so that I can make sure I do as much damage to this as I can. Well, unless they farm us all the way down, and our IVs are worse, so... I'm definitely not the guy who has the best IVs. You've seen that in like all the videos I've had and where I say the IVs don't really matter too much. Obviously they matter a little bit, especially in mirror matches, but they don't really matter in the entire scope of things. So it is a 5-0 you see here from the rewards, but like I said, we only showed 4 games because I seem to have lost one of the games. I went back and undid the edit, and I still only saw 4 games. So I either didn't record the first game or, you know, accidentally deleted it or something like that. So with this, we got up to, well, we'll just wait to catch this thing. Poliwhirl. Oh, I remember it takes like 2 catches. Uh-oh. I should have sped it up more. All right. Well, we get up to 33-16, and that should be somewhere near the top 10 of the leaderboard. So, yeah, it's been a long journey with this team. I've played it for about 5 days now. Every day was positive. I skipped the weekend because, like I said, I don't really play on the weekend. So 5 days plus 2 days off. So in about a week, I gained like 300 ELO with this team. So that's really a testament to how good it is. And like I said, my IVs are not great. My Medicham is a 15-15-15 best buddy. I think it goes up to level 43.5, and it only has to go to 42.5 because it has the best buddy 1 level buff, or 2 power-up buff, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And then my Shadow Victrebell, I never had a Shadow Victrebell before 7 days ago. So those IVs aren't great. And then obviously you saw from that last matchup, my Alolan Ninetales IVs are actually pretty terrible. So yeah, if you want to try this team out, I guarantee it'll bring you up. The only thing I will say is here at the top, the meta is even more condensed than it is across all ELO ranges. So if I don't run into, like I said at the beginning, I really don't run into too many Bastiodon. Like 1 or 2 players seem to be playing it. And one of those players I know very prevalently, so I do remember that team, and I'm just saying 2 because I don't remember, but I really haven't seen Bastiodon in quite a long time. And while Registeel seems to be everywhere in the middle ELO ranges, I really don't see Registeel either. So take that for how you will, but that's just what I see. And I think this team will bring you far, though, no matter what ranking you're at. There's just so many Charmers. You can take advantage of them with Victrebell, and I think that Victrebell is the way. So thank you all so much for your continued support here on YouTube. We're actually so freaking close to 4,000 subs. It's crazy because a month ago I was like just saying that about 3,000 subs, and y'all are just awesome, you know, just with all the subscriptions. It's great. So if you haven't, definitely hit that subscribe button, because you might be that 4,000th person to push us over the edge and get to that number 4,000. So thank you all so much for your support, and then especially to those on Patreon as well, Marlon Date and Michael H. And I will see you all in the next one.